Hello everyone, King Vector 11 here, just with a random discussion of another topic that's coming up very soon. Actually, it's being released very soon. It's being released December 15th. It's called the Grand Theft Auto Online Cayo Perico Heist. Or the Cayo Perico Heist, however you want to call it. Let's just say Cayo Perico because it sounds more original. So, generally, my discussion of this was what could we expect from the Cayo Perico Heist. Now, this is just my thoughts. This is what we actually are gonna face. So let's just before we get into the actual things, this is my thoughts, okay? Not what actually is gonna happen, even though it most potentially might happen, but still. Let's just say this: expect anything, but also expect nothing. All right. So this is what I'm expecting, of course. This is, of course, generally speaking, about the Cayo Perico Heist coming out this December 15th, in 15 days from now. Almost 14, because it's already like November 30th. Yeah, tomorrow is December 1st in like 40 minutes. So happy new month soon, but still. Here are my thoughts. So, generally, how I will start. Let me just put my name up again, because, you know, why not? There's is me, King Factory 11. I will start off with the negative thoughts of what could happen. Like, anything that players will not like about the heist whatsoever. Let alone the fact that there's a new map expansion, new vehicle coming out for the update, etc., etc. Because you guys remember, like 2 weeks ago, there was an announcement made by Rockstar saying if players achieve between November 12th and November 18th all heist finales of over $1 billion combined, we will get a new vehicle for this update. Of course, we surpassed it with over $1 trillion, which some part of me doesn't believe, but I mean, they also bribed players with $1 million, in which I never got, ever. So, generally, it was very easy to say, oh yeah, 75% off. It was such a perfect idea. Let's start off with doing this. First off, let's give the players 75% off on Diamond Casino Heist setups. Okay, what's next? Let's also bribe them with $1 million upon login. Ooh, what's next? Let's also put diamonds in the heist. All of that perfect combination. And besides that, they also said if we all achieve $1 billion together as a community, we will get a new special vehicle for this upcoming update. Yes, we achieved it with over $1 trillion. Congratulations, community. But I've just been reading through some things, seeing a few videos, and some things got me curious, which I will mention in like paragraphs later. I'll even show posts of what Rockstar Games has announced, and a specific highlight that got me somewhere on my own thought of train, but you know, it's still. So I've just been thinking, what are the possible outcomes that Rockstar could do for this heist? Now, let's start off with the negative outcomes, what players do not want. First of all, what we generally want. We want to have the Island expansion. Good. At least we're going to get an Island expansion somewhere within the boundaries of Grand Theft Auto 5. Online, of course. However, I was generally thinking beforehand we could have seen an expanded extra island as big as Grand Theft Auto 5 is right now, to make it like the new San Fierro. Because right now we have all of Los Santos with small tads of San Fierro in the map. So maybe an extra city off to the right of Mount Chiliad to make, that the actual city of San Fierro with its own airport, its own things, and general goody sensation stuff, you know. Because, mind you, when they had to make the Diamond Casino let alone anything else. When they had to make the Diamond Casino, they had to choose a specific plot in the map somewhere so that you don't join another game. Somewhere in the map they coded where if you walk through this area, you spawn in this location. And if some of you haven't already known, if you, let's say, leave the game or join a new session or some other thing when you're, let's say, I don't know, leaving the casino, you sometimes see your map zoom out from over the piers or whatever the docks are, all the way down south, just next to the Meriwether supply base, wherever you want to call it. It's to the east, complete east from the airport. It's on the Elysian Islands, I think. But still, that's, anyways, all the way down south there, that port. So we know that the Diamond Casino's location of its boundaries is located somewhere in the ports, but the casino itself is located all the way, like, near the, next to the horse tracks, the highway. It's just located next to, like, if not completely near the highway. Like, just takes a 2-second shortcut and you could just get to the casino like that. And still, and if you go to other businesses, other places, you see that the location isn't where exactly you're standing. The only exception I could believe is probably the nightclub, if anything. Like, you walk into the nightclub and you're still in that one location. Like, you won't move, like, somewhere up north or something. But still, when they had to program it, they had to make a location somewhere that had space. So they made the interiors of the Diamond Casino itself somewhere down south in the ports. Fine, we get it. They made the Diamond Casino Heist location down under or somewhere near the Humane Labs. Fine. At least they made a place, at least they made it playable. But it would have been fun. It would have been great to have San Fierro just off Mount Chile to the right. But still, besides that, going back to the main topic of the Cayo Perico Heist. We have this island just off to the left. Fine. Whatever. If some of you wanted to see a map, I mean, there's maps question mark on question mark. Zach Cox TV speaks about it in his video about the map expansion. You could look up him. If you want, I could show you a video in the description below of what the map looks like, generally, what he talks about in his own video, whatever. It's nothing dedicated for him, he didn't dedicate for me. We are our own videos, don't worry. But my question is, will we see the island in Grand Theft Auto Online? First of all, will we see it in Grand Theft Auto 5 at all? For one part, we will have to when we're doing the heist. But will we see it ever again? Or will it actually stay there? This is where the negative outcome comes in. Maybe the map will not exist until we buy a new property. Because we have to buy a property to be able to do a heist. Like when you buy the apartments, you can do the Fleeka heist, you can do the Humane's Lab, you could do the other heists, whatever those puny heists are. When we buy a facility that came out like 2 or 3 years ago, or sometime like that, we could do the Doomsday heist. When we bought the arcade, we can do the casino heist. When we buy a penthouse, we can do specific missions that could unlock a feature that we can get to be able to do the Diamond Casino heist easier. It's all with its own little small, short, long process of a story. 3 objectives that takes weeks of grinding to do, which basically sucks, but instead of thinking about that, let's just think this. The island, will it exist at all? Will you have to, let's say, unlock an achievement to get this island to open up, to say, okay, when you enter it, will it be a session heist? Like when you're doing setups for the Diamond Casino heists, you don't go into your own mission to do the setups, to then proceed further to being able to execute the Diamond Casino heist itself. Will we do it in the session? Will we do the heist in the session? And if, let's say, a modder or a griefer or someone with an oppressor Mark II will be able to see us go through the map, they'll be able to teleport to us and kill us or something, just to make it fast and quick and short. And then we won't be able to do the heist again for another week. Or a month. Or will it be a limited thing? Where if we do the heist, will we have the island unlocked for, let's say, a week? And after a week of unlocking, if you're online or not, the island will disappear from the map for good. Until a month after completing the heist, you can do the heist again to then be able to take the island back again. Because like the Diamond Casino heist is, when you do the heist, Lester messages you and says, okay, because the thing is all hyped up, you can't do the heist until the feds calm down about the diamonds or the gold or the paintings being stolen. That's understanding. They have to give the players time before they can grind off the Diamond Casino heist again. It's understanding, especially that it makes over $3 million in takings, assuming you do well. Assuming you do well with 4 players and everyone gets their own cut of 15% except the leader because he's a jackass, but besides that. So, you do the heist properly. Lester tells you, okay, you can't do the heist because things are too hot, and you have to wait 15 minutes before you can do another setup. Fine. You don't do setups right away, assuming because, assuming the feds know that you're preparing something special, like you've been taking 6 hours just to grind off of setups that the feds are still after you because, you spoil something and you mark your location, everyone's like, oh yeah, he's there, and then you lose the cops. I mean, nothing, it kind of doesn't really make sense at that point, but they at least made something playable. But still. Now, will the island exist? Now, let's say this. The island, let's say, it'll exist after a week. After a week, disappears, and you have your own fun. It disappears, and let's say, I don't know, Miguel comes back to life from Grand Theft Auto 3, and he messages you and says, hey, so you killed my evil twin brother, who, Despicable Me 3 moments. It's gonna be, you killed my evil twin brother. He was such a bad person. Like, if you want to steal the island again, you could. And then he dies and goes to the hospital and revives again after you steal the island back or something. Whatever the case may be. There are so many thoughts about this. But generally, back to the island itself. Will it actually stay forever after the update gets released? Will it even be in Grand Theft Auto 5 story mode? Chances of that in a negative outcome could potentially be a no, because they have to program everything for story mode, and Rockstar, they don't want to do anything for story mode except let modders hack into Social Club and let them mess with speedrunners, offline sessions. Which kind of sucks, but, it's Rockstar. What can we do about it? So, let's think on to something else, let's say. So, what properties are going to be unlocked? Will the property have its own special vehicle? Will it, give a special vehicle for free? Because like they said in the last time they made the Elite heist challenge thing back in November 12th, they said that, they're gonna release a new vehicle. So I'm thinking, now the new vehicle, back to the new vehicle, okay? Going to the new vehicle. I'm saying back to, but that's what I mean, just to go straight to it. The new vehicle. When they said that there was gonna be a new submarine, that, when they showed in the spoilers and the teasers and in the trailers of the new Cayo Perico Heist, they showed a fully armored submarine. Does that mean that is the new vehicle? You know how many people would be ashamed, but some people would be happy? Like, what can you do with a submarine? Can you, launch cheaper tactical nukes? Or, no, cheaper. It's gonna be like $1.5 million just to throw a tactical nuke on a specific player, in which that radius would hit at least a quarter, not even a quarter, like the orbital strike. The orbital strike itself does $750,000, and it just, I wouldn't say shoots a nuke, it just shoots a small area, but still. Now, will this be expensive? Will it be expensive to buy, because you have to buy it, first of all. I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to buy it. Because, first of all, it's Rockstar, and you have to buy it, and if you want it, but you don't want to grind for it, you can buy their shark cards, right? Right. Shark cards exists. They're cheap, $99 for I don't know, $10 million for in-game that could last, enough to buy a Hunter and a Ruiner 2000, then you have to buy another shark card, but, at least they're making money, right? Oh, what if you have to shark card your way to get to the island? Like, this island is off restriction, and you have to pay a certain fine or a certain fee. Like, that's just going a little up now from the negatives. This is just going a little up now. What if you have to, pay a certain fee of, let's say, $1 million to say, if you want to access this island before completing the Cayo Perico Heist, you can, but with $1 million, and you pay $1 million to, I don't know, whoever the drug dealer owns the land for, and you're like, okay, you're free to roam the land for a day or something. So you go around the island, you're like, ooh, this is so fun, and then after 7 minutes of driving around, you're like, oh my god, I spent $1 million doing absolutely fuck all with my life. So you're like, okay, well, time to go back to Los Santos, and by the time you go back to Los Santos, leave the game, eat dinner, and do usual daily life things for people who actually have a life. Then you come back to the game and realize the island doesn't exist anymore and is locked down again from you until you pay another $1 million. Or you get shut down. This is going... Now let's go a little higher. Let's go a little higher into positivity. What if you have to hack a computer as well? Just off a corner of the island, let's say... You have to buy a specific bunker to unlock a certain location. Let's say Fort Zancudo. Fort Zancudo is nearby, right? What if you have to buy a specific tower property in Fort Zancudo? Because there's 2-3 towers that exist, more or less. What if you have to buy to unlock, to get inside, to then go to a laptop, to then make a complicated hack that's even more complicated than what you see with Diamond Casino Heist with Lester's thumbprints or ... or what if you have to do 5 6 dot hacks, and if you mess up once you get a 4-star wanted level or something. This is all just random thoughts coming out. Then you have to hack the laptop, and when you finish hacking the laptop, you're like, okay, you unlock the island for an hour, and if you don't leave the tower in the next 2 seconds, you're gonna have authorities chase you. Until the island becomes locked again. Or something like that. That's going negative. Now let's go a little more positive with this. What if the authorities chase you, but you can lose them if you fly with your Presser Mark II or something, and you lose them, and you go to the island, and you get authorities there. Because, hey... Were you the one who hacked the thing to be able to get into our island? You hacked all our traces. Now we're gonna shoot you down. So it's gonna be like entering Fort Zancudo all over again. But before entering Fort Zancudo, you don't have the hangar purchased. So you have no such thing as low-level clearance activated or something. So you're like, well, shit. I can enter it, but can I get out? No, it's gonna be like the USS, whatever... submarine to Lexington, USS Lexington, whatever they call it, the freaking business battle ship that you have to steal crates from inside of it. Okay. Fine. That could possibly be it as well. But, still. Let's just say the island will be locked until you do a specific thing, or you buy $100 worth of shark cards to be able to unlock a free pass for the day. The vehicle could be the armored submarine. To be able to unlock the island and other means necessary, like unlocking money from Diamond Casino Heist, you have to purchase a certain property. Now, what if that property is still in beta and it's like, well, you bought it, but now you have to buy something else type of thing? Fine, whatever. So that's just being in the more negative side. What if we were in the middle? Let's say the island now exists, but you have absolutely nothing unlocked until you do the Cayo Perico Heist. And the island becomes unlocked, okay? And you're able to roam it for as long as you want after doing the heist. But before you do the heist, you have to purchase a property. in which it might be at least between $3 million to $6-7 million, assuming, you know, the facility itself is pretty goddamn expensive. Nightclubs aren't as bad. The minimum range for nightclubs is at least 1.9 million if you go like all the way down south. Like, what if you have a certain time range even? Because, you know, the cheaper the place, the more riskier it is. Like, if you buy a bunker all the way up north in Toledo and you have to sell for a higher price to some place down in Los Santos, well, the bunker is gonna cost like $700,000, but at least you're able to get it sooner because, you know, you sold at least like 9 CEO special vehicles to be able to get the bunker unlocked, fine, without upgrades, of course, unless you buy shark cards. But besides that, everyone buys shark cards because they steal from their parents' bank accounts, so that's what Rockstar especially loves. But still, you have to go somewhere across the map. Let's say you have to go in a corner no one knows, like even past Polito. It's directly all the way up to the northeastern corner of the map. That's the only place, let's say the only house that exists that you have to buy. That's gonna cost pretty cheap. But I mean, look, how many offices exist in the game? There's only 4 office blocks that you can purchase from $1 million to $4 million, excluding all upgrades or renovations. Now, what if you have to buy a place all the way up north, or maybe there's like 2 or 3 houses, like one on the top of Mount Chiliad, or one near Polito, or just the other one somewhere in the corner of Voodoo freaking Egypt or someplace, and they're gonna cost at least 3 to 6 million, maybe 7 million. The closer you are, fine. So you're gonna buy the property. And immediately after doing setups, let's assuming there's gonna be setups like, oh, you have to get an untraceable vehicle, you have to get a vehicle that has, you have to get like a device to add to the vehicle, which counters, let's say, lock-on auto-detonate missiles like in the USS Lexington business battle, and some other setups. So after you do all those setups, you're gonna do the heist. But before you do the heist, you realize that you're in a session with other players, and you have 15 minutes by yourself to go to the location, kill all the guards, kill the drug dealer, or let alone kill the drug dealer. Of course you're not going to kill the drug dealer, you're going to steal from him. If you kill the drug dealer, what's the point of having the heist again? That's going to be in the more positive note. I'll try to remember that when I go to the more positive notes. So you steal from the person. You steal from the high drug dealer of the island. You conquer the whole island, and then let's say within 15 minutes you kill all the dudes, you steal from all of them, and you come back with a device from, let's say, the leader who decides to leave it in a random RNG corner of his house because, you know, he leaves it someplace else that no one can find except you because, you know, you hacked the 4 devices somewhere. You have all of this time, you have 15 minutes. So, you get the device, you bring it back to your place, you basically have access to everything you want on the island. You have free access from that place you just did the heist from to unlock the island securities systems and extra other things. Or you basically can get a free ferry to like boat yourself all the way down to, you know, whatever place you want to go on the island just to visit and say, hey, I'm just friendly and stuff, and if you do anything suspicious, you're gonna get shot down and teleported back to your house that you went to with losing half of your bank account's, you know, money. And immediately you have to start paying bills and stuff, but still, that's its own points. Or what if you just walk in through and you walk into his house, you want to say hi, but you walk into a wrong corner and a guard spots you and shoots you. Fine, whatever, that could happen too. And then you come back to your place and you're like, okay, the systems are down, or he says, okay, I'll launch you off this island in 5 minutes, I'm gonna shoot you down. Fine. And then you go back to the place to hack the systems again. That's assuming you've completed the heist and you have the device forever. Let alone having certain durability. If, let's say, you can only unlock the island 10 times before the device got old because we feel like it, so you have to do the heist again. Right. Fine. That could also possibly happen. I'm telling you, anything I'm mentioning now could possibly happen. And it might not even, what I'm saying might not even come close to what's happening. Like, let's say Rockstar takes its own fourth turn from negative, middle, or positive, what I said. Maybe they're going to be in between negative, middle. Maybe they're going to be even less extreme than negative. Maybe they're going to be in between middle, positive. Maybe they're going to be positive. It's all up to them. But expect anything. This is Rockstar that we're speaking about. Where Dan Houser left Rockstar ever since March 2020. So whoever they're hiring now are a bunch of dweebs who need to make money for the company. Let's just say that. So, after let's say exploring the island and all the other fancy schneel happens, and you have to go back and do the whole heist again. So, let's just say this. Long story short. For this, what to expect. The island partly exists on the map, like it exists on the map, but you have to do the heist to be able to go to it. And you have to do setups, and the setups, everything is all gonna happen in session. Like the other heists that exist back in the, good old days when GTA Online was actually legit and fun to play and cheap. And, at least you get to do something and buy stuff because it was playable. Back before cars became $4 million because, people like it and there's new content. So let's make it $4 million. And if you really want to get it, you can buy our shark cards because we're Rockstar Games and we really like you. Smiley face. We like your money. I mean, we like you, the player. I mean, we yeah. And so... the island might partly exist, like I'm saying, but you have to do certain heists or certain objectives to be able to temporarily unlock it. Now, the vehicle that might be new is the ferry, let's say. You have your own private ferry. Like, forget the yacht. The yacht's $6 million. Maybe this one's gonna be $7.2 million, and you could, of course, use it as much as you want. The ferry might even have its own missions. Like, just for the fun of it. Like, the ferry's gonna have its own metal submarine, like they announced that they would make for the, Cayo Perico Heist. And you can use the submarine free of charge. How about that? Fine. Great. And besides the island, besides the vehicle, let's say... oh yeah, and you have to buy the service for the vehicle and it's other stuff. And let's say, to be able... to execute, to be able to get to the island, you can either heist your way to the island, which will take limited time before you have to steal the device and come back to unlock its securities, or besides stealing the device, you steal his love and friendship, and you could just walk in there for a few minutes before he thinks you're something suspicious, or if you walk in a specific private property and he's gonna shoot you down because, hey, you're not supposed to be here, I didn't tell you so, but I'm gonna do it because I felt like I told you, because I'm that type of guy in the Cayo Perico Heist, so I'm just gonna shoot you because I feel like it. Or might send mercenaries after you when you leave the islands or something. For too long. You last there for too long, you leave too late or something. And, or let's say, I don't know, any, like any of that could happen. Now let's just go into the more positive outcome. Let's say the island exists in Grand Theft Auto 5 Online completely. And it's actually an island expansion that anyone can walk into, anyone can walk out of, anyone can boat their way into, anyone can boat their way out of, anyone can fly their way into, anyone can fly their way out of. And you don't have to necessarily do the heist. But certain features will be locked until you do the heist. Like in the Diamond Casino heist itself, you have to buy the penthouse and make Miss Baker own the Diamond Casino to be able to unlock a special feature in which could help you with better potential progression of the Diamond Casino heist. It'll be something like that. to, let's say, you have to do a certain mission to make him more notorious, to make this boy, like, let's say, more notorious, like you're on his side. And because of that, his guards are going to allow you to come in and out whenever you want. Or, you know, allow you to use certain features. But still, some things will be locked until you actually do the heist. But it will make your life easier. But it will make your life so much easier because you have his trust. So you can do like the big con. You can walk in like a good old friend would do, and he's gonna say, okay, I'll let you access to wherever the frick you want on my island without being too suspicious. Then you kill a few guards silently. You finally steal a device in a specific house, assuming no one catches you. And then you fly out of there. And assuming as soon as you fly out of there, Lester's gonna be like, oh shit, someone actually spotted a dead body and the device is missing, but they don't know who it is yet. Because, you know, there's gonna be someone else, because assuming it's gonna be in a session, they're gonna think it's someone else. So everyone who enters the island is all gonna get shot down, except you, because you're flying away with your Oppressor Mark II. Then you fly to some location, delivered to your, let's say, your apartment, or your new property, because pretty sure there's gonna be a new property. Pretty sure before you do the heist there has to be a new property. If not, that's gonna be even better than positive. Just on that aspect will be even better than the positive outcome that I'm making. But still, you disavow your device, or you steal something, you come back, and then as soon as you complete your heist, then it's gonna be like, okay, well the heist is done, and all the players are still being shot down. As a bonus, if you want to make extra money, you can shoot the players yourself, and they're gonna respawn back in Los Santos with locked access until all the other players. It's like a 1 versus everyone team deathmatch type of thing. If you die, you'll make extra money, and the island becomes unlocked. If you kill everyone, that's not part of your heist. And that is basically gonna be like extra bonus money. Let's say bonus $100 for killing people. And they won't be able to join back, because as soon as they join back, they're going to be auto-sniped or auto-shot down by some anti-defense system because of, oh hey, the island is being currently locked down. If someone enters it or exits, they're going to be shot down. The mercenaries going to be sent after them. Fine, that could also happen. And let's say you have a CEO to help you, because you can also do it with 3 other players. If your CEOs die, they come back on Los Santos mainland, and they cannot re-enter, otherwise they get shot down. Or what if players become passive mode? Whoever's not in the island becomes passive mode, cannot do any mission, which would kind of suck, but let's say you can choose to not participate. You're going to be given an option on the top right screen to say, press this button to no longer participate in the Cayo Perico Heist defense or some shit like that. And let's say if all your CEOs die, including you, then the island is going to be unlocked for everyone else while you're going to be on lockdown. Or if you shoot everyone, you're going to have it. Or maybe no one's going to be on lockdown at all. That could also happen. But still, for a more positive outcome, this island will become forever always unlocked after it becomes released. For the new vehicle, questionable, but it might be an actual new supercar, let's say, or a new truck, or let's say it might be a previous vehicle that exists in Grand Theft Auto 5 that has not yet been brought into GTA Online as a purchasable. Let's say Phantom Wedge, or some other truck, like V8 Supercharged, or let's say a Line Runner, which would be pretty good, actually, because I want to drive trucks, finally, please. Or they could release a new Caquette, because there's only like 5 Caquettes in GTA Online, ever. Or there's gonna be another new special vehicle, let's say Cayo Perico's Private Army Special High Class, unique, I don't know, anyone knows a good car from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, cause, nah, the Primo exists. Buffalo, maybe a Buffalo Custom will actually be nice and sexy to drive. Anyways, some random car we've never seen yet. Let's just say that. Anything from Vice City either, fine, would be great. And still, so there's that. So there's gonna be a new vehicle. Now to get to the island itself, you can go in as long as you want, for as much as you want, do whatever you want. You can puff a puff and pass it to your friend, or you can roll a joint, just swim in the waters, take a dip in the ocean of nostalgia, like in Los Angeles Rock Radio's advertisement for a next song plays, or some other thing, just chasing the sunset, just whatever you want. The island's forever unlocked. You can go in as much as you want, you can come out. Until you do the heist, you can go in as much as you want, because as soon as you start it, you have to do the mission, not get caught, and so on and so forth. Now, would we even be better than this positive? Let's just remove that for now. What would be even better than the positive I mentioned? Few aspects. First of all, I've already mentioned before. Let's say anyone can go in, anyone can come out. All the features are going to be unlocked. Fine. Until you do the heist, everything will be unlocked. That would be better. If, let's say, a special vehicle could be brought in and out, there's a bridge that's going to happen between both islands or something. There's a lot to think about. There's a lot to think about when the island's gonna exist, if the heist is gonna exist, what building is gonna happen. Maybe you don't have to build a building at all. Maybe you can just access a specific area and immediately is gonna be the heist. Now, if the heist is gonna be in session, it would be pretty bad. But, it's Rockstar Games. If it's gonna be your own mission that you can have spectators watch, let's say, like an adversary mode, or a private job, or survival series or something, like it's its own job, then that would be even better. Because you're in your own mission, your own place, and whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. That would be spectacular. It would be very, very spectacular. Now, something I read in the announcements. So first thing I'm reading, let me just remove my name because it might be in the way. There's me. There you go. They said as a description, prepare to infiltrate the remote island compound of the world's most notorious drug dealer in Grand Theft Auto Online's biggest, most daring and action-packed edition yet, the Cayo Heist. Or what some other people would go like, Cayo Perico, or whatever. I say Cayo Perico because it's more original still. It's up to you to find a way to breach Cayo Perico, one of the most secure private islands in the entire world. That's exactly what I was speaking about. It's highly, highly secured, and you have to infiltrate it to get in. Now, like I was saying, maybe you have to, let's say, hack a device from Los Santos to be able to access this island. Or maybe it's going to be open for anyone. Or maybe in the middle you have to just go in, hack a device, come in, and pretend no one sees you and something, otherwise you get caught. There's a lot that could happen. Okay? There's a lot. Evade or neutralize the heavily armed security forces stationed there, and escape with valuable evidence, along with as much art, gold, and drug money as you can carry. Now I'm reading that, with as much as you can carry. That would mean many things. First of all, let me take a pause. Alright, we're back. Now, as I was saying, with as much stuff as you can carry, does that mean you're gonna hold limited storage in duffel bags? Meaning you infiltrate his house and your bag can only, let's say, hold 5 paintings, 30k stack bars of gold, and let's say you can put a few dollars of drug money pockets as you can, possibly carry, and whatever the guards drop as snacks and its own money, you pick it up straight into your bank account. If that would mean so, it would be expected. Expect there to have a limit of what you can take. Or let's say there's going to be a limited timer within his house before the automatic, let's say, traps and discharges and everything is going to happen and start killing you slowly but surely. And when you die, You will not respawn on the island. The island is going to be locked from your account specifically. Let's say Rockstar does his own DDoS coded from your, let's say, game, where if you walk in there, fly in their boat there, you're going to immediately die, and you're going to think, what the heck, did a modder just blow me up as soon as I enter? No. Because Rockstar would code a DDoS effect on your account that would last a certain time in the game to say, okay, from this time, if you cross these borders to this island, you're gonna get immediately exploded. You're gonna spawn back onto the mainland of Los Santos. But assuming you do the heist successfully, you come back to Los Santos and, you let's say dump in Lester's warehouse or something. Well, if Lester's warehouse is gonna be the property you have to purchase, that's also another fact that I didn't mention, or never even thought about before. You're gonna purchase Lester's warehouse, like, you know, the original jewelry store job thing you've done in Grand Theft Auto 5 story mode. So you're gonna buy his warehouse, you're gonna deliver it to him at his warehouse, or even his secondary warehouse that you've prior never even knew was his warehouse until you do a certain Grand Theft Auto Online missions to realize that it's his personal place with his own crates, cargoes, cars, and whatever the heck an old creepy Uncle Lester can hold in his own private lands that he decided to hide in probably or something, but still. Besides that, you can only carry a certain amount. Maybe you have to use a helicopter to, let's say, grab crates. Let's say the cargo bob. You steal a cargo bob to pick up crates and fly it back to the warehouse within a certain amount of time. Like, the crates hold paintings, the crates hold, like, gold, the crates hold money. Something like the, what do you want to go, trolleys in the Diamond Casino Heist that holds the gold or diamonds or the cash on. And you have to take 30 years to whip your bag in front of you to say, oh yeah, good bag, yeah, you're in front of me, oh yeah, good bag. And you have to zip it open it, and go like, oh yeah, you know, oh yeah, it's open now, oh. And you put your hand slowly on the cash money and you go like, flip. Okay, let's grab another one, flip. Okay, let's grab another one, flip. And the more you spam, 1 second. When will I never be disturbed when I'm recording something important? Anyways, so whatever I was saying beforehand, from what I can remember, let's just say this. You're gonna have a limited bag probably, where you're just stealing after, you know, your bag just opens up and it's like, okay, you can take a certain amount from a trolley, and then there's only certain trolleys that exist. And then you put in your bag, you zip it up, and then you just run out and, like, give it to Lester or something. And Lester sells it to someone, and you get your payment only, like, a few minutes later. Because, you know, he finds a buyer and he sells it to them or something. Like, he doesn't source a buyer directly towards you. He just says, give me the loot so I can sell it to someone to then pay you a part of the fines. Part of the cut, in which I take the rest. As well as, let's say, the hackers, the gunmen, and whatever the heck else will exist. That would take 20% off your total cuts and stuff. But still, anyways, sorry if I just, like, forget most of the parts that I just mentioned, like, 2 minutes ago. My rabbit is sick and I had to take care of him, so, yep. That's also happening in December of 2020. 2020 didn't even end yet, and shit's really happening, but still, whatever. Let me keep on reading. Choose your tools. Nice, that means choose your guns. That means you're gonna have a gunman, exactly. Choose your approach, which basically, like I said, you're either gonna do the big con where you're friends with him, and you just walk in a specific place unseen, and you steal from them, and that's it. Choose your crew, or even go it entirely alone. No, it will not be entirely alone. You will just be alone, but you're still gonna need a gunman to pay. You're gonna need the approachman to pay them. You're still gonna need to pay Lester or whoever's gonna be in charge of setting up the heist. You're still gonna have to pay them. Just, if you do it alone, you're gonna have potentially, quote-unquote, bigger pay for yourself if, assuming you steal everything for yourself within a certain time limit. Something like they do for the Diamond Casino heist. But that's generally what I'm saying. Or just make it back to Los Santos in one piece. Exactly. Just make it back to Los Santos in one piece. If you die, you lose your loot, you'd go back to Los Santos, and the heist is over. That's what I'm assuming is gonna be this heist. It's gonna be an in-session thing. You're gonna die, and you're gonna lose everything. Most potentially. That's either the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, you do exactly like other heists do. You lose team lives, and you can do quick restart. Alright, fine. That could also happen. Anyways, the Cayo Perico Heist is the biggest GTA Online adventure ever. Really? Will it really? The biggest adventure I've had so far was driving around the island of Los Santos and Mount Chiliad, hoping I won't get shot down by an Oppressor Mark II, Griefer, or Modder. Which sometimes I was successful, a few times I wasn't. Because there's always gonna be a little tryhard's gonna show up with a suppressor and go like, you were gonna kill me, so I shot you back. No, anyways. Introducing an all-new exotic heist location. Yeah. Okay. With a brand new approach to heist design that features the ability to play everything solo. That part gets to me super hard. Will you really be able to play everything solo? Or with up to 3 players? Will you actually be able to do it all solo? What if you could do it solo, but your cut's gonna be decreased by half, and you have half the time to be able to rob everything, meaning you lose 3/4 of your potential cut, in which that 1/4 that you will potentially have, you steal only 10% of what actually is there, in which 10% of that steal, only 80% will be yours, or 60% of that cut will be yours. That's like you have about 6% of the total cut of, let's say, the whole heist that you can do if you do it by yourself. That is, like, I would guess at most $600,000, if anything. At most. Assuming you're, like, top luck, beyond the doubt, best player in the entire game, and you know how to counter every single shit that hits your way, and you even know how to counter griefers, you know how to counter modders exploding the session massively or something. That's beyond a doubt, like, good luck right there, if you can get $600,000. That's what I'm guessing. If that's even gonna be the actual total heist cut, because 600,000 being 6%, that would mean the whole heist itself would be 600 million. Do you think they're gonna give a $600 million payout? We're talking about Rockstar's GTA Online here. The most they're gonna pay you for this one's probably gonna be like $4 million. At most. So, $4 million being 100%, 6% of the $4 million is gonna be like, let's just